Welcome, everybody, and welcome to the T Corner, brought to you by StreamYard, as you can see, and also T Line Beats Production. And we got a guest right here today. He's a musician, he's an activist, and he's going to explain exactly what all he's going to be doing and stuff in the near future and stuff like that, and what he's personally doing. So yeah, so let me go ahead and bring him to the show, Mr. Jamar, right here. All right, welcome
Hi.
to the T Corner, man.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, T.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, man, what got you started in music?
Well, I come from a church family background. My
Mm-hmm.
father has been either a deacon or a pastor. Um, he always in the church. My mom was like leader of the choir, um, and then she assistant leader of the choir, vice versa. So,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad also he is a singer as well too. He does quartet. For people that don't know, quartet is more
Oh
like a
yeah.
soulful sound that
Mm-hmm.
church soulful sound. Really good sound of music.
And,
He doesn't take it seriously anymore, but that's what I was raised off of. A
mm-hmm.
lot of music like that, and it made me want to like search for more outlets of different types of music, and that's when I got into hip hop, and then I got into
Mm-hmm.
soul. Listening to Sam Cooke,
Come
um,
on now.
listening to
you
listening
you
to a
hitting it.
lot
Go ahead.
of listening to my boy what is his name? I can't even think his name right now. But he's another dude from back in the day. He wrote for
Yeah.
the Temptations.
Oh, you talking about Smokey Robinson?
Yeah, Smokey Robertson.
Yeah.
Listening to Michael Jackson, of course.
Come on
Listen,
now.
listening to a lot of the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and
Uh-huh.
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on to like hip hop back in the '80s with Wu Tang. I did a lot of like studying music and listening, and
Mm-hmm.
even with metal and
Come.
a lot of post metal and all that stuff like that. So just
Mm-hmm.
all over basically. That's how
Oh
I got
yeah.
into it. And
Oh,
I was on and off. I was a Christian rapper at first,
mm-hmm.
and then I long no longer identify as being Christian. So I
Mm-hmm.
switched to my sound, and then I became just a regular poet,
Mm-hmm.
and then a rapper, and
Yeah.
then also later on, it's just ups and downs and turns throughout the years. So I couldn't take it seriously anymore. Then I got back into it and joined a band called Light Warriors
Yeah.
after being in jam sessions for Southwind Social Club, and started learning percussion instruments. So now I
Mm-hmm.
also play instruments now too, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just a songwriter and all that stuff. And it's been going good. We have
Awesome.
this new single out called "One" by Light
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, and it's been going on for about a year. Started when the pandemic, around time when we started getting the buzz.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I saw we have over 250,000 views on
Mm-hmm.
Spotify in 97 countries. So doing a lot of work. Shout out to Eric. Eric is the founder of Light Warriors. Been there since I was in middle
Yes,
school,
indeed.
just grinding.
Wow, man. Hey, looky here. I want to say one thing. You are a true musician because most people don't actually understand that, people that's in that does hip hop or R&B and stuff, we love lots of genres. And when you said you love soul, you love hip hop, and then you say you start getting to metal music, I was like this, yeah, yeah, he a true musician because
Yeah,
look, people don't even know that I know some country songs, I know some metal songs,
right.
but even though I grew up in soul and gospel just like you and stuff, and went into hip hop because my brother was like a big hip hop fan and stuff like this. So I didn't have a choice.
Hmm.
But yeah. But when you started saying that you went into metal and stuff to different genres and stuff, listening to them, I say, yeah, that's a true musician right there. Because that's when
No,
you
thank you.
found somebody that loves music and not just doing it because they're doing it.
Right, right. It's a lot.
Yes.
And go through so much, and then you're influenced. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
You can't channel that same person that you was years ago. So there's always growing and evolving
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed it is. Cause I could tell people like different parts of my life. I could put like this genre. Okay, this genre was representing me. This genre was representing me. I'm not even saying songs no more. I'm saying this genre because I'm like this. Like when I was 16, yeah, I think that was like some heavy metal shit. but
Hmm.
but but when I got older, you'd be like, okay, that's more neo soul. I'm starting to find my way and stuff. And then
Right.
when I got older and stuff, I was like, this, wait, hold on, where the blues at? Where- where- uh, I may bring in some little bit of Shirley Caesar here and there, but yeah, where the blues at?
Yeah, I love Shirley Caesar as well.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. So you say you're an activist. So man, tell the people what kind of work you doing and stuff like that.
Oh, I wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
I uh, I started activism around the time when I was in acting school and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I joined the nonprofits, did DNC stuff. I did a lot for the DNC when I was younger. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
we that's where I first learned just like basically knocking on doors, asking people did they vote. And then
Mm-hmm.
one thing that struck me was this lady that was asking me, okay, I get you guys want us to vote, but what are you offering us? And then I started thinking more like, what? Oh shit, what she mean by that?
Yeah.
And Bernie Sanders came along, and that just literally like sparked up my drive again to want to like do something, because before that I just didn't really think I did the right thing, because I felt like I was just helping people get into office, and they was like straight up like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, but just vote for us, and then they don't do anything. So I just felt discouraged as an
Mm-hmm.
activist.
Mm-hmm.
um when Bernie Sanders was the first time, because he got screwed over twice, but when he got
Yeah.
screwed over the first time, that's what really really pissed me off about electoral politics. And
Oh
I
yeah.
felt I felt like I wanted to do something, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And then I met this these activists that are part of the PSL, Party for Socialist Liberation, and they talk about anti police violence. They talk about
Mm-hmm.
black liberation. They even defend
Mm-hmm.
queer LGBTQ community. So
Mm-hmm.
it just felt really well in my politics of what I felt like the world should be shaped. So I ended up joining them, and then I started learning about coalition work, and they
Mm-hmm.
gave you like a little schooling. So basically, you had to like take some classes for like almost a year. They really train you and teach you very well on how to like move. And we ended up I ended up working with Black Lives Matter activists,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different lawyers, Green Party members, a lot of good experiences of just learning how to like build working power, and having a working class be able to have a voice, and how to build that voice and what that voice could look like, and understanding that we have so much in common. No matter what race we have so much more in common as a working class community, and there's more of us than the 1%. So it made me very very um strong in my beliefs. One thing I asked them
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, did you guys like Malcolm X? And they were like, yeah, we love Malcolm X. And that sold me. I was like, okay, they passed the test.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Cause sometimes when you talk with people and they say, oh yeah, we for this, we for that, be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you like this person right here? And if they give you the wrong answer, I'll be like this, man, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Right.
You getting scoot over, scoot over. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that. Be like, you
Yeah.
gotta ask them everybody, like, do you like Michael X? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. You on board, D? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Right.
same question, you? Yeah, okay, cool.
Because he was the most like
you know,
unapologetic
oh no,
militant,
come on now.
you
Yeah,
know,
I,
So
Mhm.
if they like him, then they understand. If they just say Martin Luther King, they don't fully understand Martin Luther King because he's been whitewashed so much. But
Yeah,
when you get say Malcolm X, and they
like
don't be like,
it's
oh well, he's a terrorist
yeah,
or he wanted violence against white people. Like when they don't say that, you're like, oh, okay, they get what's
yeah,
going on here.
yeah. They actually understand the message and the knowledge of the man.
Right,
And
right.
most people would say, "Oh, my favorite quote is when he said by any means necessary." I say, "No, my
Hmm.
favorite quote was this from him. He
Hmm.
said he was straight up with it. He said, "Hey, if you want to hide something from the black community, put it in the book."
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, yeah. In other words, he was like saying, "Yo, we need to step up our knowledge and start reading more, because this is where the true knowledge is right here. They no,
Right.
they not going to just tell you. You got to read this, and I can't even lie. I'm guilty of it too. I got to bring up my reading game and stuff. So hey, but that's why I also tell people like, hey, pick up a book and read.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
because
just so much information out there, so much. And
hmm
now you have Audible, which is another easy way for someone to listen in on information and stuff like that. There's podcasts that do readings and stuff like that. There's a lot of different ways that you can adjust getting some type of educational message in your daily routine. You could just play something while cooking or cleaning or working and stuff
hmm
like that.
oh yeah, man. I mean, in today's time, we don't have no excuses. We could find ways on how to read
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But once again, hey, you if people keep on making excuses, how you gonna get the knowledge in? So that's why Malcolm X is always gonna be my number one favorite, bro. I'm gonna be
Oh
honest
yeah,
with you. He didn't
yeah.
care if you was white, black, Hispanic, whatever. He was gonna tell you how he is and just let it be.
Yep. Yep. Yes, he did. And
Yes.
they had to kill him for that. They didn't like that at all. They were
Mm-mm. No, when you too real for the world, man, they hate you. Let's be
yeah,
real.
yeah. Yeah, me and
But
my
yeah.
girlfriend were just talking about JFK. And
hmm
I used to not be really a fan of JFK because I hate all
Yeah.
presidents, but I
Yeah.
recently learned about how he was basically like anti-war and he could have went to Cuba but he didn't, and he pissed off the establishment and stuff like that, and they
hmm
murdered. I'm just tell you right now, I think the government took him out. That's why they're hiding the documents. Biden was supposed to release them this year, and he said that people are still
Yeah.
alive that are involved in this. They're covering up, and it's literally shows you like just how powerful the deep state is. And the only way to break that, you got to build working power. You have to get the people to rise up against this type of like oligarchy.
You know what? You know what? That's it. That's it. I'm gonna have to bring you on another show because that's gonna be another topic right there. Because we could do a whole 2 hour special on the whole J. Oh my man, I done hit my knee on my table. But we could do a whole 2 hour special about the realness of Malcolm X and JFK and stuff. Man, I'm like, yo, you hitting it areas. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that as a podcast.
Oh
Like
yeah,
for
I talk
real.
about. I try to keep a. I don't try to do too much, but I can try to keep because a lot of people
Yeah,
know that I'm into politics, so they want to hear the politics as well too. But I do
yeah,
a lot of artist music interviews, so
yeah,
I try to keep a
yeah,
duality between the arts and
yeah.
politics and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely have you on for when I do that show, bro. Like hands down, I ain't gonna lie to you, but
Oh, right. I'm around. Yeah,
yeah, but hey, man, but yeah, so like we talked about how you got into music and stuff,
yeah,
okay? And you say you're a poet.
yep,
So yeah, I'm a poet, and no, I understand that all avenues of poets is different. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So how did you get into poetry and tapped into that knowledge? That's why I call it knowledge.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, on the east side. Um, Hardin High School. If anybody's
hmm
listening, where Dover Street is at, Palisade. That's my barrel. That I had a lot of friends. Some got killed. Some are incarcerated. Some made it to college, some are successful. It's a different, diverse of fate, what I
Hmm.
like to call it. And I've had the opportunity to be in a lot of different spaces and I joined the poetry club that
Hmm.
allowed me to be in those spaces in high school, that I was able to connect with a lot of different poets. And
Hmm.
I that's when I started reading more and learning more about different things, different topics, and I ended up learning that not only if it made me a better poet, it also made me a better rapper as well too, a better artist as well too. Because instead of just talking about the same old things, baby range, baby I love you, and all this stuff, and just
Hmm.
talking about
Yeah.
growing up in Bridgeport, how it's dangerous out there. Which I really didn't think it was so bad as long as you mind your business. So of course, people got shot, but like,
Hmm.
I mean, in the suburbs, they shooting up schools. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Come
had
on
metal
now.
detectors, you know what I mean? And they don't even
Yeah.
have metal detectors. I'm like, yo, they don't even have metal detectors there. I literally had to go to class late almost twice a week over that damn metal detector. So that
Hmm.
metal detector struggle is real. And like
Hmm.
I just write poetry. I just started writing poetry about stuff like that. The gang violence, started writing
Yeah.
poetry about how my father wants me to be a football player, but I'm a queer actor at the moment, so I don't even know if that is going to be allowed to for him and stuff like that. I just talked
Yeah.
about a lot of real poetry. Gave me a chance to like fully express it instead of trying to match it with a flow or on a beat. Which is, if you could do that as well too, you're a great artist. You can do that, but
Yeah.
it feels more better with like poetry is also a great art form as well too, because it gives you a full rawness and
Yeah.
it gives you a full understanding where they're coming from. Like they just, you're right there in their face, no melody or
Hmm.
anything. You're just hearing this person give their soul out. And some people
Amen.
give a melody, you know.
Oh yeah.
My
And
OGs is Phoenix, oh,
hmm.
Jason Phoenix. Uh, he's one of my OGs. Um,
Hmm.
my other OG Xavier. These are the people that taught me how to write poetry. My uncle taught me how to rap, but these people taught me how to write poetry. Uh,
Hmm.
Xavier Phoenix. Who else? Xavier is actually a healer now. He travels the whole world and he's a healer. Like he uses stones and stuff like that. He
Yeah.
has clients. He just like went
Oh,
on a
that's
totally
awesome,
different
man.
level. Yeah, yeah.
Shoot, that no, for real. That is awesome because people don't actually believe in that stuff. I'm like this. No, that is actually real. Like there's
Hmm.
people that learn this craft, and when people start talking about healers, I'll be like this. Do you even understand how powerful the human body is and what it can actually do?
Yeah.
Like that's a person that just tapped into something that pretty much 85% of the world can never ever understand. So,
Right.
that's
Right.
what's up, man. I like that.
Yeah, when he switched to it, one story quick about him. I was doing the table. This is when I was like into my pagan days because I used to
Mhm.
have like a strong pagan phase. And I say phase because I realized that it wasn't really a path I wanted. I was too
Mhm.
dormanted looking for rebellion. I was a rebellious kid and I was trying to fight
Oh
the
yeah.
man in all types of ways.
Oh yeah.
But when I was really into it, I was reading tarot cards and I was like getting paid to read tarot cards, and I had
Hmm.
a table at this festival. It was me and my friend Dime. Shouts out to Dime. Dime is another artist that's great as shit. Um, Me and them, their pronouns are they them. Me and them were like doing our tarot readings, and I saw Xavier. Then Xavier was over there meditating with somebody, and I was like, oh
Hmm.
wow, he's not doing poetry. Let me go talk to this dude. And then he was like, yo, I don't do poetry as an income anymore. I do healing as an income anymore. Poetry is still my favorite thing, but I do healing sessions now. And I'm like, healing sessions. Let's try this shit out. So like we did a session, and he started bringing up like personal things that happened in my past, especially with my father. And I was just looking at him like, how the fuck you know this? I never told you this shit. So I
You got
kind of
real
got,
scared real quick, huh?
yeah, and I kind of got pissed off with him when he did that because
Yeah.
I was a very emotional kid. I didn't like
Yeah.
people blowing up my shit, even though nobody was listening. It was just me and him. But the fact that he was like saying it like, in confidence, like he knew,
Mhm.
and I'm like, what? You was talking with my mother or some shit? Like he never met my
Yeah.
mom, so he was
Yeah.
like a teacher at my high school, so he never met my mom. He was like
Yeah.
poetry club high school teacher and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I just wanted to share that because like that's when I started believing more that there are some like mysticism out there, stuff like that. But I don't really
Oh,
tap into it as much anymore as I used to. I'm
yeah.
too busy yelling into cops' faces at this point.
Yes, indeed, man. I understand that, man. I understand that. And hey, if there's a way you could bring him on the show, hey,
Oh yeah, yeah. I could
he got
definitely.
a place over here because I like talking with people that's on that realm, man. Because people don't actually believe this stuff. I'm like, yo,
Mm,
partner, if you like for example, I like to say this to people that's Christian, and they say they don't believe in, let's say, a ghost. Okay,
hmm.
we're gonna use a ghost. I'll say, well, do you believe in God? Yeah. Okay. You believe in Jesus, right? Yeah. Okay. You believe in the Holy Ghost, right? Yeah. Then you believe in the ghost. I'm like,
It's in the title.
I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm like, yo, it's just like there's different phases in the spiritual realm. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, yeah. And we
everybody
never
got,
know.
yeah, you don't know, because like we, I don't know if this is like how you was brought up, but when I was brought up, it was just, you know, there's Baptist, Christian, there you go.
Yeah.
Devil is bad. Okay. I was like, okay, cool, got that. But then I started, as I started growing up, I was like, started, doing what Malcolm X said, pick up
Hmm.
a book and read.
Yeah.
And so I started, learning about, different cultures and their beliefs and stuff. I was like, wait, hold on. They believe, their beliefs is almost like what we believe. It's
Yeah.
just that it's just a little tweaking here, a little tweaking there, but it's like, yo, it's the same day.
It's kind
So
of the
that,
same. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, yo, in the spiritual realm, man, I'm like, yo, there's so much that we not tapping into. Like,
Right.
so yeah, that'd be an awesome show right there.
Yeah. He's like gone true. So he's
Yeah.
like everywhere. So
Yeah, I
there
understand.
ain't
I
no telling what
understand.
he knows now at this point. Like there's no telling what he knows now at this point.
Yo,
Like
man. Yo, and I'm all up into the spiritual realm and stuff. I'll be watching paranormal activity shows and stuff. I'm like, yo, hey, y'all might want to say that this ain't real, but I'm like, yo, hey, stuff that moves by itself, you can claim that. So, yo, that guy's on some awesome stuff for real. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. So what else to what else are you doing and stuff? Cause you know what, you partner, you got a good life right there, bro. I was just like, yo.
Well, I try. um, I am like I said, I wear many hats in the activist world. So
Yeah.
I have a nonprofit that I work for. It's
Hmm.
just three of us, called Life in My Days, and it started out 4 years ago by Palestinian refugees. So it's predominantly ran by Muslim and queer and black and brown people,
Hmm.
um, and queer and trans actually, because
Hmm.
we have people on our board that's trans as well too.
Hmm.
So it's just like a grassroots organization that started off with peer support, and evolved from peer support to mutual aid. And I also do open mic events there,
Hmm.
and art galleries whenever I can. Art galleries
Okay.
are tricky sometimes, but it's just I feel like the arts, I always try to do open mics and stuff like that because I think that the arts is a great way of outreaching to the community. A lot of people feel comfortable going out to an open mic and hanging out and
Hmm.
getting to know some people, especially during this pandemic. We had to go to Zoom calls and stuff, and then when the
Hmm.
the pandemic laxed for a little bit, uh we went back into like at spaces and venues, and there was just an overwhelming amount of support.
Mm-hmm.
I think only 1 month it was like a little bit of people, but all the other months it was a lot of people, and it was just showing the need that people feel like trapped in, and all the stuff that's going on and everything. And so that's what I love to do and stuff like that. Just build community and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And speaking of open mic, we, like before we get to that part right there, if you want to do some poetry or something.
Oh yeah, I could do a poem. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But before we get to that one right there, man, I want to know one thing.
yeah.
What gave you like the um the strength to do everything that you have done and stuff? Because like that's something else that I do on this show. Like I try to use other people to help people that's probably in the same situation and stuff in life and stuff like that. So yeah, what was your strength? Because my strength, I'm gonna tell you right now, was poetry. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. So
Mm.
but yeah, what was your strength?
Oh man. Strength. I don't know. I just think discipline and sacrifice is what life is about. And if you
Hmm.
don't have discipline and sacrifice, you don't really feel fulfilled.
Hmm.
Um, like I love playing this wrestling game that I play all the time. I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Oh
Um, but I can't really like. You're a wrestling fan too, or
man,
um,
look at here. We could, that's another podcast. WWE, AEW, ECW, WCW. Where
yeah,
you want to go,
yeah.
man?
Yeah, I have a lot on that. I used to, earlier on in my podcast, I used to do wrestling commentary, but one of my guys who was still my best friend, but he's too busy, so that just fell off. I would love to get a wrestling podcast out one day. That'll be fucking dope.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anybody to talk wrestling with, really.
Hmm.
um,
Hey,
so
you got
yeah.
one now. Yeah.
Oh, word.
So, yeah, word. Yeah,
That'll
for
be
real.
dope. That'll be dope.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead, bro.
discipline, and sacrifice, because that's one thing they teach us at the party for socialism and liberation, that this
Mhm.
is not a volunteer type of situation. This isn't, oh, I can only do it when I am available. It's a sacrifice. And
Yeah.
if you care for the revolution, and you have to sacrifice your time, it's
Hmm.
almost, that's why we call each other comrades. It's like almost like how the Black Panthers were so tight. Basically, the Black Panthers moved militantly. The Black Panthers moved educationally. They didn't play around. It was a
Hmm.
very cohesive, trained process. So
Oh yeah.
that's one thing that I feel like is the key in life. Is just that drives me is just discipline and sacrifice. Even if I don't like doing it, I have to do it. It has to be
Yeah.
done. Um, because
Exactly.
it gives a better outcome. I hope that doesn't sound elitist to anybody. If you don't feel like going out into the streets or doing anything, and you want to stay home and be with whoever you want to be, or just be by yourself, that's your choice too. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't really feel that they want to go out and give value to other humans. You know what I mean? I get that.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a fucked up
Yeah.
world. It's a fucked up system. Not everyone is going to be able-bodied to change. So I don't want anybody to feel that I'm like, oh, if you don't have drive, like David Goggins, straight up, like, if you don't have drive, if you don't have sacrifice, passion, then you're a fucking loser. Like, like,
Nah, nah, we ain't
I'm
trying to
not
say
saying
that.
that. Not trying to say
But I understand what you
that.
were saying with it, man. Because like for real, like like when I was going through my phase of do I want to be here or do I want to just go ahead and
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
Um, yeah, with poetry, you write about the sacrifice and the discipline because with poetry, this how I learned about the sacrifice and discipline. The days that I didn't want to write, I forced myself to write. I
Mm,
didn't care what I wrote about. I didn't care if it was a little short sentence.
mm-hmm,
I had to write because if I didn't write, I wasn't gonna get what's inside of me out.
mm,
And I'm gonna be honest with you. My beginning work, I keep it in a white folder for a reason, because I call that pretty much my devil years. Like
mm-hmm,
like on the inside, I was like FTW, like
mm,
every single day. And if y'all don't know what FTW means, it means fuck the world. Okay,
mm.
that
Yeah.
that's how I was when I was in my teens and stuff. Um, so my 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 poetry and stuff, which was very interesting, because it was always like my little light, that I would reach towards. Because when I was in my journal entries and writing, that was like the dark area. But my
Mm,
poetry always kept kind of light and stuff, so I can keep a good balance. And then all of a sudden the journal entry started to fade into the poetry area, and then all of a sudden I just straight poetry and stuff like that.
right.
And if you don't have no discipline, then you are not going to be able to understand what it means when you have to, change
Mm,
like inside yourself. Because with no discipline, you cannot understand the real meaning of living or changing, because that comes with discipline.
right. And to
But
be successful in anything in life, you need to be
mhm,
disciplined. You have to
mhm,
learn, you
yeah,
know?
oh yeah. And once again, like I said, partner, that's another episode. I'm thinking like, oh shoot, man, that's another 2 hours right there.
Yeah,
Man. But like it's good when you could gel with somebody on a podcast like that, because you're like, okay, yeah, I can put you in right here, put you in right here.
yeah,
But no, but real talk, the sacrifice and discipline and stuff like that, I even learned when I was like in college and stuff, because my teacher was saying like, yo, okay, in media and film, there's gonna be days when you're not gonna want to be out there, but it's sacrifice and discipline,
right,
and stuff like that. And you got weird freaking hours and stuff like that, and they laid it down for us and stuff.
right,
So that actually propelled me for when I started, doing podcasting and stuff like that. Because there's days when I don't want to do no podcasting. I'm like, I gotta do it. Because
right,
if I want to be special and stuff like that, or want to create change in the world, then you gotta be able to put in the sacrifice, the work, and
right.
change. And sometimes we gotta remind ourselves that. But you're right on that, brother. You're right on that. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. And once you feel so much better after you do it too. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Even if it's
Oh
something
yeah.
you don't want to do, you just feel so relieved after, you know. I know exactly what that's like with some days you don't want to podcast, you're just not feeling it, the energy's
Hmm.
not right and all stuff like
Hmm.
that. But then you just do it, and then you're like, oh snap. And then that ends up being one of the most viewed podcasts that you got, and you're just like, oh
Exactly.
snap, like how did that happen and everything.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
there's a reward with sacrifice, people. Just sacrifice.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, man, now it's time for the poetry corner area. So, the mic is all yours when you're ready and stuff
Oh,
like
okay.
that, man. So, yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right. This is a poem called Red, Black, and Blue. I wrote this around the time when the George Floyd riot started happening again. I say again, as in because the verdict and the verdict was a good verdict, but then there was also a lot of police killings that were happening during that time as well too. For instance, I hope I say this kid's name, Dante Wright, was murdered. The cop assumed that it was a taser that she was holding, but she was not holding a taser. She was holding a fully loaded gun, and she killed him right on camera. So around that time is where I wrote this poem. And update, she is being prosecuted for murder, so that is great. She's being convicted. Um, so that's justice in that family. I hope that family feels that they have found justice. So this poem is called Red, Green, and Black. And red, green, and black is actually our true flag in Black America. That is our true flag. Red, green, and black. That flag was it was given to us by Marcus Garvey, and it is now represents the Pan African flag as well too. So basically, asking all Black people to come together and just the diaspora. That's what it's all about. So the poem's called Red, Green, and Black. Fred's Rainbow Coalition put power in disposition. Fears that blacks can't be free is a hazardous condition. The true pandemic is systematic and violence. My ancestors didn't obey and never was silenced. We have pride like Brutta Haiti. When we defend, they call us violence. Knees to our necks, bullets to our backs. Criminals we are called as they continue attacks. We learned about Abe for white savior legacies, but fuck that. I'm gonna show my kids Jean Jacques Dessalines. We were conquered and colonized, stripped of our names, family tree and history alterated by chains. I don't give a fuck what George Floyd did. Say his name. We all can't. We all have struggles. It's all colonial pain. I wish I could give Sandra Bland my breath. I wish every black trans woman could feel loved and blessed. The news just want to constantly make us stress. They report but never care to solve this mess. That's trauma. Liberation. Where the fuck is liberation? 400 years and we patient, but the cops ain't patient. Nah, they tasing and spraying. White man denying this is America in the making. This is not who we are. This is not who we are. Tell that to my fam in the grave or behind bars. We charge, ICE, FBI, Move 9. Got us crowded in this shit like a beehive. Liberation. Where the fuck is liberation? 400 years, nigga, and we patient. But the cops ain't patient. Nah, they tasing and spraying. White men denying this is America in the making. Change is going to come with words or a gun. Self-defense sets you free, so stop being numb. All right. And for people that don't know who Jean Jacques Dessalines is, the reason why I said the line instead of white savior legacies like Abraham Lincoln, there were also slave liberators around the Caribbean that were not colonizers, that were not white, that were actually doing this to free their people, not for a business deal. The whole Emancipation Proclamation was a business deal. Yes, it freed the slaves, but while that Emancipation Proclamation was being signed, they also sent troops to kill Native Americans. It's one of the biggest scenes that has not been spoken about, how Abraham Lincoln murdered a lot of Native Americans and took their land. So yeah, he freed the slaves for business, and he also murdered a lot of Native Americans. So that's how colonialism is. They do one good thing and then they do the other. And Jean Jacques Dessalines is one of the first leaders of Haiti. It was Louventure. Louventure was the one that freed Saint Domingue. That was what Haiti was called at first. And then after that, Jean Jacques Dessalines, he renamed Saint Domingue Haiti, which is actually indigenous name of the Taino people that lived in that region. That's where Haiti comes from. It's a Taino name. So Jean Jacques Dessalines freed all of Haiti and liberated them from the colonizers and the slave masters, and that is a black brother. So I always bring up Jean Jacques Dessalines instead of Abraham Lincoln.
Come on now. Come on now. Man, I want to say, man, first of all, on the poetry right there. Yes, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Thank you.
And once again, like dude, I just was thinking inside my brain, like there is so much that I done count about five different podcasts we could come up with, man. Yes, and so with that being said, man, you are always welcome back on the show anytime, brother.
Yeah, thank you. We'll stay in touch.
Yes, indeed. And y'all, please go support this brother and stuff. And man, before we go, tell them how they can reach you, man. Like, what's your
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook? How they can
Mhm.
get in contact with you.
On all platforms besides Facebook, it's Jabari VOC podcast. And
Hmm.
then on Facebook, you could contact me at Jamarr Jabari, or you could contact the page, which is Jabari at VOC Podcast. And the music, I have my own EP out that's from when I was younger, but I'm working on a new EP.
Hmm.
So you can look up Jamarr Jabari. That's on all music platforms. Bandcamp is where you could fully support and buy my EP, which is only out for $3.
Hmm.
And Light Warriors music, we have a new album coming out soon. And please stay tuned for that. You can listen to Light Warriors music on all platforms. Um, and also you can follow Light Warriors at Light Warriors on IG, and also Light Warriors at Light Warriors on Facebook as well too.
Okay, okay, oh, man. Like I said, man. Once again, you are always welcome back on the show and stuff
Thank you.
like that. And yeah, I'll be scheduling some interviews very soon where we're gonna be talking about some other things.
Word.
But until
Word.
next time, brother, you know, hey, you stay blessed. Hey, stay on though, because we're gonna talk after the show. But
Okay.
yes, stay on. But you be blessed. And I'm gonna go ahead and close them out, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Well, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I think I had a truly blessed session right now watching this brother right here. And with that being said, y'all go out there, support the brother and do because he's doing great things out there and stuff like that. And support his poetry, his activism and stuff like that. And you know, he's telling you the truth with good discipline and sacrifice. You could conquer the world. All right. So with that being said, I'm CEO Spoken King. Sign out till next time. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. CEO out.